Welcome to PMI Planet, where we join to help you on your journey to achieve Program Management Professional Certification. That is PgMP Certification. Quite possibly, you might have been thinking for a while to prepare for PgMP certification. Or maybe it recently clicked to you. Or maybe your organization is encouraging you. Or maybe your boss is recommending it to you. Or maybe you have already done PMP certification and now want to pursue PgMP certification. Whatever may be the reason, you are surely actively seeking to advance your learning and your professional career. And probably that has led you to this introductory module about PgMP certification program. Some professionals think for a long time before they get started on PMI application process. The intention behind this introductory module is to get you started as soon as possible by providing you sufficient information so that you can initiate and complete the first few crucial steps with ease. In this introductory module, we'll try to answer the basic questions you may have. Questions like, what is PgMP? And whether it is the right certification for you to pursue at this time in your career. Or you may ask, what is the eligibility criteria? If you qualify for the eligibility criteria, and if you want to proceed further, then you may ask what the PgMP certification process is. In other words, you want to learn the steps involved and the activities you have to undergo to get PgMP certification. Once you learn what the process laid out by PMI is, you may think a bit more about it in detail, about what all that is expected from you throughout the certification process. What will be the fee structure? How much time overall will you need from start until you get certified? You may also want to know about the best practices by already certified PgMP credential holders, so that you can fine-tune your approach. After completing this introductory module, what should you do next? Since you have invested your time to go through this module, you would like to do something and take the first step towards your goal to achieve PgMP certification. We'll answer all of these questions and provide you detailed information about PMI's Program Management Certification. All right, let's start. Let's look at the basics first. PgMP stands for Program Management Professional, similar to how PMP stands for Project Management Professional. It is a title you earn when you successfully complete PMI's Program Management Professional Credential Process. PgMP certification is offered by Project Management Institute to program management professionals. PMI was founded in October 1969 and is a not-for-profit organization. PMI launched PMP certification in 1984 and PgMP certification in 2007. PMI has also published all of the material required for one to prepare for the certification. This includes the PgMP Handbook, the PgMP Exam Content Outline, the Standard for Program Management, the Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct, etc. Once you start the online application, the entire certification process is well guided by PMI. PMI will be in touch with you for the next steps and the expected duration to perform them. It is considered to be a tougher certification to achieve compared to Project Management Professional certification. Those who have achieved both PMP and PgMP certifications across the globe have judged PgMP certification process and the final exam to be a lot tougher than PMP. Overall, the PgMP exam failure rate itself is seen to be higher. Even the application failure rate is also seen to be a bit higher. PMI is very active in verifying and clarifying eligibility of PgMP credential applicants. Up until the 31st of October 2013, there was additional evaluation of multi-rater assessment that each candidate had to go through. Fees were also higher. Effective from the 1st of November 2013, PMI canceled this evaluation step. Due to that one hurdle removed from the process, it has helped candidates to pursue PgMP certification more easily. In other words, low numbers of PgMPs across the globe reflects the difficulty of the PgMP credential process. One should not underestimate or be overconfident while going through different steps of the process. Rather, be thorough in preparation and rely on self-evaluations to judge your progress and readiness for the PMI evaluations. There are around 1,200 certified PgMPs globally by Q3 2014. PgMP certification was launched by PMI in October 2007, so it has already been a couple of years since its launch. Having that in mind, globally, around 13 candidates, on an average, have been passing PgMP certification each month. On average, 157 a year, or on average, just 3 a week. This average has been observed going higher lately, but still, the overall rate of passing PgMPs globally is very, very low. Let's look at PMP numbers. PMP was launched in 1984, and globally, around 1,665 candidates, on an average, have been passing PMP certification each month, or on average approximately 20,000 a year, or on average around 385 a week. By the way, more and more organizations are recently seeking certified program managers. This happened to project management profession before, and now almost all project manager roles are expected to be filled by a certified project manager. At least jobs are advertised as such. In coming times, same may be the norm for program management professions. Needless to say that early entrants will have the advantage to take up the roles with more ease. PgMP certification is considered a next-level certification to PMP. Although not an eligibility criteria, professionals who have achieved PgMP are mostly seen to be already PMP certified. There are exceptions, but those numbers are low. The fact is, you will learn through this course that program management and project management professions have very strong interfaces and interdependencies. A program manager oversees and manages project managers throughout the program delivery. This way, the program management professional has an upper hand compared to the project management professional. In reality, the program manager works more on strategic levels and generally interfaces with upper management. Considering this, it is perceived a natural transition by professionals from project management to program management professions. It certainly helps if the candidate is already familiar with project management knowledge areas, processes, and terminologies. So if you are already a PMP, then PgMP may be your next natural career move. By the way, if your career has already advanced beyond certain levels, then quite possibly you may find it appropriate to go directly to PgMP certification without going for PMP certification. So, what are other PMI certifications? Certifications offered by PMI are Certified Associate in Project Management, or CAPM, Project Management Professional, or PMP certification, Risk Management Professional, or PMI RMP certification, Scheduling Professional, or PMI SP certification, Agile Certified Professional, or ACP certification, Program Management Professional, or PgMP certification, Portfolio Management Professional, or PFMP certification, Professional in Business Analysis, or PBA certification. Although there is no specified order of PMI certifications, it has been a talk of the project management communities for a while now, discussing what certification to do and why. Let's take a simple example. Alex starts his journey with CAPM certification, considering it is entry-level certification and because he doesn't qualify for the PMP certification as of yet. Then, down the line in his career, As he gains sufficient project management experience, he then pursues PMP certification. And as he gets more experience, he thinks to get himself specialized in risk management, project scheduling, and agile methodology. So he then pursues PMI RMP, PMI SP, or ACP. In his career, he then reaches a point where he has good exposure to program management and that he qualifies for the PgMP. He then pursues PgMP certification. And finally, he targets PFMP certification based on his qualification and if he wants to see himself as a certified portfolio manager. When you look at certifications and look at your career path, then quite possibly you may choose to go for PgMP directly without going through PMP or other certifications. It is very important to understand where in your career path you stand and how much the PgMP certification will take from you and your life, as well as how much you can benefit from it. During this module, you will be able to understand what is required, how much time, money, and effort you may need to achieve PGM certification, and you will be able to decide whether PGMP certification is suitable for you. Let's look at some of the benefits you may get by achieving PGMP certification. Through PGMP exam preparation, you will learn the standard program management practices and approaches, skills, tools, and techniques which you can internalize and apply to your own programs in order to run programs successfully. The beauty is, once you learn, this knowledge base will be part of you and will keep helping you in numerous ways throughout your career. Apart from that, PGMP certified status will distinguish you amongst other applicants for the job that you are applying, which of course will increase your chances to get the job. And that will help you achieve better positions and achieve higher career goals. The fact is, your interview performance should also be better with all that you have learned through PGMP certification preparation. Remember, there are organizations out there who are seeking certified program management professionals so that their organization can have standard program management processes implemented. Another thing is that there are not many PGMPs in the world currently, so it will be a privilege for you to be part of this elite group of these management professionals. You will feel the difference right after you achieve PGMP certification. Okay, so you know about PGMP and its benefits for you. Now let's look at the eligibility criteria. What does PMI expect from you to have in order to be eligible to pursue PGMP certification? Well, you should fall in one of these two alternatives. One alternative is that you have secondary or a high school diploma or associate's degree or global equivalent of it, and also have minimum of 4 years or say 6,000 hours of unique, non-overlapping professional project management experience. You should also have a minimum of 7 years or 10,500 hours of unique, non-overlapping professional program management experience. Alternatively, you have a 4-year degree, that is, a bachelor degree or its global equivalent or a higher degree. In this case, you should also have a minimum of 4 years or 6,000 hours of unique, non-overlapping professional project management experience and also have a minimum 4 years or 6,000 hours of unique, non-overlapping professional program management experience. You may have noticed that project management experience requirements are the same in both alternatives. Hence, if you qualify in one, you either should have a diploma or degree, which will decide how many hours of program management experience you should have before you can apply for PGMP certification. If you find yourself eligible for PGM certification, then congratulations. You have just come one step closer to PGMP certification. The next question you may ask would be, how much will it cost? Let's have a quick look. PMI fees applicable to PGMP credentials are categorized into exam fees, re-exam fee, and CCR renewal fee. The first fee applicable to you will be the exam fee. If you are a PMI member and if you opt for computer-based testing, then you will pay $800 or 655 euros. Although if you are not a PMI member, then the computer-based test you will pay $1,000 or 815 euros. That is $200 more. In case you choose or have to choose a paper-based test, and if you are a PMI member, then you will pay $700 or 570 euros. If you are not a PMI member, then for a paper-based test, you will pay $900 or 735 euros. Again, $200 more. Let's hope that you will thoroughly prepare for your PgMP exam and won't need re-examination. If you need to sit for an exam for the second or third attempt, then expect $200 less than actual exam fees. Or if you are paying in euros, then expect 160 to 165 euros less than the actual exam fee. Either you passed in first attempt or in a second or third attempt. Once you pass PgMP exam, then only fee you have to pay is CCR, Credential Renewal Fee. CCR stands for Continuing Certification Requirements. In other words, if you want to keep your PMP and or PgMP credential status in active status, you will have to earn 60 PDUs every 3 years and then pay this renewal fee, which is $60 for PMI members and $150 for non-members. By the way, you can only pay this fee in US dollars. PDU stands for Professional Development Unit. In simple terms, you can imagine 1 hour of training equals 1 PDU. Just one last thing before we move on. Be a PMI member. Membership fee is $129 plus $10 of application fee. Then $129 to renew it each year. So if you pay $129 or $139 to be a member, and then pay for the PgMP exam, you will be paying $200 less compared to if you are not a PMI member. In this way, you will at least save $60. If you are a student enrolled full-time in a degree-granting program at a college or university, then you can opt for a student membership. If so, you will be paying just $32 to be a PMI member and $32 to renew. PMI may and most likely will ask you to provide a letter from your college or university. One more thing. In student memberships, all member publications will only be delivered to you electronically to your email address, so no print copies. Although with student membership, you are saving $168 for the exam fee. To be honest, being a PMI member gives you much more benefits than this. You will be able to access all standard free of cost in PDF soft copy format. Plus, you will be kept up to date with newsletters and other informative emails. You can enhance this experience by joining local chapters. So, be a PMI member. It is a good thing. One last thing before we dive deep into PgMP application process. In order to evaluate your situation and to prepare your mindset while filling in the application form, keep these requirements in mind. Can you independently run programs with multiple projects, especially programs in diverse setups and programs affected by different environmental factors? Are you good at strategic visioning? Can you initiate projects, assign project managers, or lead projects successfully, and work with them to deliver expected program benefits? Do you have advanced skills in decision-making, finance, leadership, and other general management skills like communication, influence, negotiation, and contract resolution, etc.? Your situation may be slightly different, but remember that this is what PMI will be looking for from this angle while evaluating your application program management experience. Take a few minutes, think it through, and write down your responses. It will help you setting a right mindset necessary for the application. So, how can you achieve PgMP certification? Where will you start? What steps will you follow? Basically, what is the process? Let's have a look. Once you decide you want to pursue PgMP certification, the first step is to prepare all the information required for the application. What to prepare will be very clear from this module, as we'll go through the process and you'll understand what is being asked from you. Once prepared, your next step is to start the Online PgMP application on the PMI website. You will be given 90 days to complete this application and submit it to PMI, or else you will have to start the application all over again. You can do all the changes you want up to the point you submit your application. Once submitted, you are not allowed to make any changes to your application. We'll look at this application process more in detail in the next few minutes. Once submitted, your application will be reviewed by PMI for completeness. At this stage, PMI will just confirm if your application is complete or whether you need to provide additional information. PMI will conduct this review within 10 days and will let you know the outcome by email. Once your application is reviewed as complete, the next step is for you to make payment. Payment can be done through the PMI website, and PMI will guide you on how to submit the payment. During the payment process, you will have to choose whether you will opt for computer-based testing or paper-based testing as an exam delivery method. Payment can be submitted either via credit card or check or money order or wire transfer. If you choose credit card, then you can submit payment instantaneously through the PMI website. Once you submit payment, it is up to PMI if they choose your application for an audit. PMI chooses applications for audit on a random basis. Although for PgMP it has been a trend up until recently that almost all applications go for audit. Recently, some applicants have claimed that their applications went through without PMI audit. It is recommended, however, that you prepare well for the audit so that your response is swift and accurate, enabling PMI to easily audit and move your application to the next stage. This PMI audit is to check whether information you provided about your diploma, degree, certificates, and your program management experience are correct or not. We'll look at this step a bit more in detail later. For now, remember, it is a random PMI process, and you should prepare well for the audit. Once your application passes through PMI's random audit process, you will need to pass 2 evaluations to achieve PgMP certification. The first evaluation is a panel review. During this step, you have nothing to do. You completed your part along with the PgMP online application submission by entering the Program Management Experience summaries. A panel of volunteer PgMP certified program managers will assess the same and let PMI know whether your application passed or failed their review. If you fail in this evaluation, you will not be able to continue to the next evaluation. PMI will contact you and let you know the outcome. If you pass the review, then you will be eligible for the next evaluation, and that is the multiple choice exam. Finally, at the second evaluation stage, all you have to do is prepare for PgMP's multiple choice exam. Book the exam, then go and attend the exam. The exam is 4 hours, and you will be given the opportunity to answer 170 questions, out of which 150 questions are scored and 20 questions are unscored questions. PMI includes these 20 unscored questions for trial. When you complete the exam, you will give a small survey, and following the survey, you will instantaneously receive your result. You will be informed whether you passed or failed. No marks or score provided. Although your level of proficiency will be provided against each of the 5 program management domains. In each domain, it will be shown whether you were proficient, moderately proficient, or below proficient. Although PgMP credential process looks slightly overwhelming, if you prepare well, you will find it very easy and straightforward. However, at any stage, if you think you need professional help with either the application or any of the evaluations, then feel free to contact us at www.pmiplanet.com. So far, you have gone through a quick overview of the steps and process to achieve PgMP certification. Let's start with the application now and look at it in a bit more detail. The entire PgMP application process is online. You enter all the required information, and at last you review and submit your application. Basically, there are 4 important things you should be ready with to make the application process simple for you. Once well prepared with these bits of information, the actual application will be no more than just a data entry, and you can complete the entire application within an hour or so. The first one to decide is how would you like to align your CCR cycles. You already know that your CCR cycles are to renew and keep your credential status active. CCR cycles are a 3 years period, and within this 3-year period, you are required to earn 60 PDUs for PMP and/or PgMP. You might already be a certified PMP, and there is a specific CCR cycle already active. So when you start your application from your online PMI account already linked to your PMP certification, you will be asked whether you want to align CCR cycles to a date when you earn PgMP or to existing PMP CCR cycle dates. Remember, you don't have to earn 60 plus 60, that is 120 PDUs during the CCR cycle if you successfully achieve PgMP. You still will have to earn only 60 PDUs, and there will be a single CCR cycle for PMP and the PgMP combined, so keep this in mind. If you choose option A, then all your currently earned PDUs will be forfeited. That's right, you heard it right. If you choose option A, all your currently earned PDUs will be forfeited. So your CCR cycle kind of refreshes to PgMP exam passing date, and all PDUs earned so far for PMP's existing CCR cycle will be forfeited. On the other side, if you choose option B, then your current PMP CCR cycle will remain intact along with already earned PDUs. CCR cycle end date will remain as it is too. Your response depends on your circumstances. If you have earned very small number of PDUs earned so far, then you may want to buy some more time by selecting option A. CCR renewal cycle will then be updated to new and later future date depending on your PgMP passing date, which also means you don't have to pay for the renewal fee sooner. Alternatively, you may have earned significant amount of PDUs so far and you don't want to see them forfeited. You foresee that you can easily earn remaining PDUs to reach to a total of 60 PDUs. So you may choose option B and keep the existing CCR cycle. You will be paying renewal fees sooner, in this case, compared to option A, but you were expecting it anyway under the existing CCR cycle. So yes, think about it and prepare for what options you should go for and document it. The second one is the number of months of project and program management experience. Open an Excel or Word or similar document, or take a piece of plain paper and write down all the projects and programs you have had experience for. Remember, you should have a minimum of 4 years or 6,000 hours of unique non-overlapping project management experience. Unique and non-overlapping means if 2 or more projects overlap, you can't consider hours for all overlapping projects. For this overlapping period, you can choose only one project and consider those hours. Also remember, you should have a minimum of 7 years or 10,500 hours of program management experience if you have a secondary diploma certificate. Or else you should have a minimum of 4 years or 6,000 hours of program management experience if you have a 4-year degree. The same rule of unique non-overlapping applies here. If programs you are showing to count your program experience are overlapped, then you must only consider one program's experience during that overlapping period. For now, note down all the relevant details about these projects and programs, like start date, end date, project manager's name, program manager's name, organization's details, along with contact detail, and also details of the person who will be able to verify your experience when asked by PMI. The third is hours of program management experience in each domain. There are 5 domains, namely strategic management domain, benefits management domain, stakeholder engagement domain, Program Governance Domain, and Program Life Cycle Domain. You have already prepared a list of your programs and selected some of them to be included in this application. Start with those programs. Take one at a time, and write down the number of hours you have spent working on each domain for that program. Repeat this exercise for each of the selected programs. Sum them up to see whether the total hours exceeded the eligibility criteria of either 10,500 hours or 6,000 hours as we discussed before. The fourth one is the Program Management Experience Summary. We will look at this in more detail in just a few minutes. But remember, this is what the review panel will assess as part of the first evaluation. Hence, if you fail to accurately explain your program management experience in line with standards for program management, then chances of this evaluation stage failing will increase, which means efforts of your entire application can be jeopardized. So this one is important. Prepare for this evaluation with a similar mindset as to responding to the second evaluation of the exam itself. Read SPM. Reading the first 100 pages will give you a big boost and help you prepare summary responses describing your program management experience. Remember, it is a failure point. Many candidates have failed at this stage and then sought for professional help. So to avoid going down that path, prepare well for better results. Let us repeat one more time. Describe your program management experience summary in line with standard for program management. And yes, avoid copy-paste from the standard. Maybe all you need is a quick read of SPM and then proper reflection of your experience, putting together in a way supporting PMI's standard for program management. Let's go through online application. Think as if you are already filling in your application and take note of the information you will need to prepare for the actual application. Once you are done with your preparation for the application, go to https://certification.pmi.org. Assuming you are not already logged in to your PMI account, you will be taken to an authentication page. If you already have an account, then log in or else choose Create an Account. Once logged in, you will get PMI Certifications page where under Overview heading, you will see a couple of links to apply for any of the PMI certifications. By the way, to have a quick glance at PgMP eligibility requirements and candidate policies or procedures, select the link below with the heading of Apply for PgMP Credential, which will open a PDF document. It should be the same as what we have gone through in this module. Then choose Apply for PgMP Credential when you are ready. If your account is already linked to your PMP certification, then you will be provided with the option to choose CCR Cycle Alignment Option A or Option B as we just discussed. Since this selection was part of your preparation, you simply select your preferred option to align CCR cycles with either PgMP passing date or keep it to the existing PMP CCR cycle. If, however, your account is not linked to your PMP certification, or you are simply going for PgMP without being PMP certified, then you will get this page where PMI is encouraging you to have a single PMI account to get maximum benefits. PMI is also reminding that if you wish to maintain both PMP and PgMP credentials through separate accounts, then you will have to earn 60 plus 60, that is 120 total PDUs each year, 60 PDUs for PMP and 60 PDUs for PgMP. Select Save and Continue if you just created your account, and PgMP is the first PMI certification that you are pursuing. On the left side pane, you will be able to track which step or sub-step your application is in. PgMP application maps credential process to 5 different steps, which are application, submit payment, panel review, exam, and results. We are currently going through the application step. When you will review and submit your application, you will enter submit payment step and then audit if your application selected. As you can see, Audit Step is not a step included in this side panel by PMI, maybe because it is optional. Next step is a panel review evaluation. Followed by panel review evaluation is second evaluation of final examination. Upon successful completion of final exam, you will get finally results, where PgMP certification process will end and CCR cycle will be aligned and updated with the option you chose in the beginning of the PgMP application. In the next page, you will be asked to indicate your highest level of education attained so far. Fill in the required information and then choose Save and Continue. Depending on what you enter at this step, PMI will automatically apply eligibility constraint of either 10,500 hours or 6,000 hours to your program management experience at later stage. And by the way, during the audit process, if your application is selected, you may be asked to send through a copy of your certificates to PMI. PMI will be expecting the certificate of the education that you have provided here on this page. You are then taken to PgMP Requirements Overview page. Here you are reminded of project management experience eligibility criteria that we understood a few minutes ago. On same PgMP Requirements Overview page, you will also be provided with information on program management work experience for how it is defined. Once read and understood the information provided, select Save and Continue. Next, you will get to the Eligibility Worksheet page. In that small table, required column will show you eligibility criteria applicable to you based on the educational information that you provided on the previous page. Since you have not entered relevant information as of yet, qualified column will show you 0 values for now. Also provided below are 3 links: Project Experience, Program Experience, and Experience Summaries. Note that from this page, either you select Save and Continue, or you select Project Experience link. You will be taken to the same page of Project Experience. However, if you want to jump straight to Program Experience or Experience Summaries page, then link below the table will take you directly there. For now, select Project Experience here. On Project Experience page, actual total months are 0, since there is no project experience submitted as yet. Select Add button so that you can add project experience information, which will take you to Add or Edit Project Experience page. Project experience information required here are project title, start date, end date, project role, and primary industry. For project role, you can choose from project contributor, supervisor, manager, project leader, project manager, educator, consultant, administrator, or other. Choose your role for this project. If your role is not listed, then select Other, and you will be given additional text box where you can enter free text to provide your role. Importantly, note that the project that you mention here cannot be a component project of the program you will mention in Program Management Experience section. Also, each project experience entered must have been accrued over last 15 consecutive years. Once completed, select Save and Continue. Once project information entered in next page, you need to enter organization details and organization's contact number where you run this project. Enter this information and select Save and Continue. On next page, now you are asked to provide your primary contact for this project experience that PMI may contact in order to verify your project work experience. Here you have the option to skip this page without entering any details. This will not be the case, however, for program management experience later. There you will have to provide contact details and won't be able to skip it. Select either Skip Contact or Save and Continue based on your preference. Project Experience page will reflect summary of added project information with how many months of project experience was qualified so far. You can also add more projects if your actual project experience months added are less than required months needed for you to be qualified. Keep adding your project experiences by selecting Add button. And when you are done, eventually select Save and Continue. Once you have entered project experience, now you are taken to the Program Experience page. Here, you also have columns to summarize number of hours, reflecting actual versus required versus qualified. To add a program experience, select Add. On Add or Edit Program page, enter your program details. Remember, each program experience that you add must have been accrued over last 15 consecutive years, and that for each program experience added, there must be at least 2 component projects linked of the same program. Information you are required are program title, budget, start date, end date, your role, primary industry, number of your direct reports, number of your project managers in this program, and program strategic goal. Note that program role can now be selected from CEO, CIO, CTO, PMO, Program Manager, Portfolio Manager, or if you want to add your role which is not listed, then select Other, which will provide additional text box to add your role. As for the strategic goal of your program, enter your response in the provided text box. You have a maximum of 500 words for the same. On the next step, you will be asked organization details along with phone number. If organization for which you run the program is the same as you entered previously, then you can simply select it from the saved organization list. It will automatically fill in details as you entered previously, or else enter the information and continue to next page. Same like project experience, you are asked to provide your primary contact for this program experience to whom PMI may contact to verify your work experience. Note that you were able to skip this step in case of project management experience, but here for program management experience you can't skip. The person you choose to enter details here should either be your sponsor, client, manager, director, or a primary stakeholder. To avoid any problems later, you should consult with the person first and take him in confidence. Logically, this person should be the one who knows the facts and one whom you can trust. This should be part of your preparation before you start the application. Let's go to the next step. This is where you will now be asked to enter number of hours you spent working in each of the domain areas. These number of hours will eventually qualify you for required number of program management experience hours. Take a moment, pause, and read the text provided on strategic program management. All 5 domains are required to enter number of hours performed by you in this program. All are on the same page. Pause for a moment and read the text provided on Program Lifecycle. Go through the descriptions to get a quick idea on benefits management, stakeholder management, or governance domains. To answer more accurately, you should have read the first 100 pages of Standard of Program Management at least once or twice. This is the book published by PMI as a program management standard. You then come to Program Summary page. As you can see that qualified months and hours are 0, this is because there are no projects associated as yet with the program. There must be at least 2 component projects associated for each program mentioned. Select Associate Project to add a component project to your program. Note that projects mentioned at Project Management Experience cannot be a component of the program you mentioned in Program Management Experience. Here you are asked project-specific information, organization contact, and project manager's phone number. Again, you should consult with project managers you are intending to add to your application and take them in confidence. Logically, your project managers should remember the facts of the component projects and program you are entering. Since you have associated only one component project with program, your program is still not qualified for number of hours entered. Select to associate project and add information of that component project the same way you entered for the first associated project. When 2 component projects are associated with the program, you will be taken to the Program Experience page. You can see that Program Added is now qualified for the total number of hours entered for the domains, which can possibly still be under 6,000 hours of required eligibility criteria. If so, then you will have to add another program the same way you added the first program. When second program added and two component projects associated with it, program experience page will be shown. In this example, you can see that both programs are unique and non-overlapping. Together they qualify the applicant since actual of 6,750 hours are higher than the eligibility criteria of 6,000 hours for a 4-year degree holder. This is just a sample application, and here program titles are named Program 1 and Program 2. You should be entering your own program titles. When you save and continue from Program Experience page after entering qualified programs, now you will enter the Program Experience summaries. Each Program Experience summary description can be 500 words or less. You also will select one of the program applicable to each experience summary. There is no hard logic to which program can be selected for how many experience summary descriptions. Each of the summary domain has one of the two options to choose from to respond. Let's look at each program experience domain summary next. A quick list of program experience summaries per domain for all 5 domains is presented. On the left, there is an option to expand to see your response, while on the right, there is an option to enter or edit the summary item. Choose Edit for strategic management. You are given 2 options to choose from, Option A or Option B. Whatever option you choose, you will answer that option in response text box below. Choose an option that you can describe the best and select one of the programs you have entered in the application. Your response should address the specific option chosen for the program you have selected, as discussed earlier. It should be in line with Standard for Program Management, reflecting your program experience. It is your program experience summary, so word it in this context. For example, in Option A, it is asked to summarize your experience, activities, approaches, and examples on how you develop program justification and business case in alignment with organization's strategic plan. Same way, review options provided under Benefits Realization domain carefully, and choose the one that fits well for your situation and you feel more comfortable with. While selecting your option, you may want to keep your programs in mind so that you can choose more relevant options for a specific program that you can describe well. The response field needs at least 20 words and a maximum of 500 words. Next one is stakeholder management. Follow the same methodology to respond for this domain. For example, under Option A, you need to describe how you are responsible for identification and analysis of your program stakeholders for the program selected by you. Next one is Program Governance domain. See options and see which one you can describe well in line with Standard for Program Management. Last but not least, Program Lifecycle Management. This is the last domain experience summary item. As for the preparation of the PgMP application, one may expect spending more time preparing these program experience summaries compared to the rest of the application. Actually, this section of program experience summaries is an evaluation in itself. It is the first evaluation. If you fail this one, you are not allowed to go to the second evaluation of the examination. So dedicate sufficient time and efforts for the preparation of these summaries. Make it easy for the panel, and the panel will make it easy for you. Once you have entered all program experience summary items and move on, the next page will ask you to provide optional information of primary referral source and whether you have taken certification preparation course by any PMI chapter. Primary referral you can choose from either employer required or employer suggested or personal development. On the next page, you will be asked to provide your name exactly as you want it to appear on your certificate when you achieve PgMP certification, which will be asked to confirm in the next page to be very sure. Followed by that, you will be taken to an agreement page for you to read, accept, and agree. Once you accept the agreement, you will be taken to the Review and Submit page. That's it. Your application submission is just a click away at this point. No need to rush. Review your application for any corrections. And once you are confident enough, then submit the application. Let's now look closely at what happens after your application submission. Once you submitted the application, PMI reviews your application for completeness, which PMI will do in the next 10 days and let you know the outcome. If your application is reviewed to be complete by PMI, you will be allowed to proceed to the next step of payment submission. We have already gone through payment structure in detail, so you should know what amount you expect to pay and what payment method you will choose. When PMI receives your payment, the next step is triggered, which is random audit. Most likely, your application will be selected for audit considering the high rate of audits experienced by past PgMP applicants. If so, you will be sent an email informing the same and instructing how to respond to the audit. Basically, PMI will need copies of your diploma or degree certificates and verification of your quoted professional experience. We'll look at this step more in detail in just a minute. If your application was not selected for audit, or if you cleared audit requirements successfully, PMI will then commence first evaluation, which is panel review. PMI may take up to 4 weeks for this panel review, although in most cases it takes around 2 weeks' time for this review. During this review, your program experience summaries per domain that you entered during application submission will be reviewed by the panel. Remember, PgMP certification is not for almost anyone. It is for those professionals who have been engaged in program management in sufficient capacity as expected by PMI and in line with the standard for program management. If you pass this review, you will be provided with Eligibility ID. With that, you can then book for the final evaluation, and that is the exam test. Although if you fail this first evaluation, then in most cases you may have to start your application again. Well, if you passed PgMP evaluation of panel review, you are just a step away from getting PgMP certified. All you need to do is prepare for the PgMP exam, go give exam, and come back as a winner passing the exam. Well, you have understood the process from start to end a bit more in detail so far. There are a few things you should keep in mind. We have covered before, and a quick summary touching again here. You should take all the references in confidence before submitting the application. Quite possibly, you may want to change the references based on their circumstances and availability to be part of your application process. Or while discussing with references, you may simply discover better and more appropriate references that can make things easier for you and PMI both. PMI is very thorough in guiding you at each step of the entire certification journey. By sending emails with all the information required and through your online PMI account. PMI will help you focus on what you need to do next and will inform you for what they are doing and when they will get back to you. Just follow their lead and instructions. As we have discussed earlier, be a PMI member. It not only helps you save money on exam and renewal fees, but will also keep you up to date with useful information about project management knowledge areas, latest news and happenings that you might give new dimensions to your knowledge base. Re-emphasizing it here that read SPM at least once before you draft Program Experience Summary. For a test, do a quick draft of experience summaries before reading SPM, then read SPM. Now again draft your response without looking at the first draft. Compare both drafts. You will be amazed to see that how your own point of view changed on describing your own experience. If you can read SPM twice, results will be even better. Reality is, if you do so, you most likely won't need professional help, and also you will succeed on your first attempt and will pass the panel review. And last point, many candidates attempt PgMP certification in confidence, thinking of their past or recent past successes of PMP or similar certifications, and many of them fail. Hence, the failure rate is higher and the number of PGMPs are still very low. Our advice to you is don't underestimate and don't rush. Take all the time you can have till you are very confident for the evaluation you are going through. For final exam, prepare till you can correctly answer almost all of the practice questions that you attend. Remember, failure in the first attempt will not only cost you around $800, but will also affect you mentally. Suddenly, the PgMP exam may look like the toughest thing ever, and you may start looking for professional help and spend even more money. The truth is, by following simple steps and using your time wisely and a bit smartly, you will not only be able to succeed in your first attempt at the PgMP exam, but will boost your confidence on the learned material, which will take you to better level of program implementations. So, you are willing to pursue PgMP certification and have understood eligibility criteria which you knew you qualify for. You have also understood online application and how you are going to prepare for it. Let's say your application completeness review went well, and PMI asked you to make payment, which you did. After payment, in PMI's random audit process, your application got selected. What now? What is this audit process anyway? Let's have a look at the audit process and what you have to do to come clean in this audit. If you make payment through credit card, which is kind of instantaneous, and if payment was accepted by PMI, then you will notice that the email indicating your application got selected in PMI audit will come within the next few minutes, so it's kind of quick. This PMI email indicating that your application is selected for a PMI audit process will also provide you with a link that will take you to the PMI website. Once logged into your online PMI account, you will be able to see information on what is being audited and how you can respond to the audit. One thing PMI generally audits is diploma or degree certificates. For this, they will ask you to provide photocopies of the certificate. Easy, right? It is. Another thing they generally audit is the program management experience as you mentioned in the application. For this, you will have to download the audit form from your online PMI account at certification page and under PgMP certification. You may want to print them yourself and forward audit forms to the manager signing them. Or you may simply send audit forms to him over email. In any case, your manager will read and verify your program experience mentioned in audit forms by confirming and signing them. He does this discreetly, so you can't see what he did with the audit forms. He will even put the audit forms in an envelope after signing them, seal it, and cross-sign at the seal. Then he sends the envelope to you so that you can send the envelope along with other audit responses to PMI at their mentioned U.S. address as a single delivery item. It is a PMI recommendation to send the audit items together. And by the way, PMI gives you 90 days to submit the requested documentation as part of this audit process. Once documentation received, PMI should be able to send you another email within a day or two indicating that you have successfully completed PMI's audit process. In most cases, this response is received within the same day of receiving the documents. Upon PMI audit process completion, there are two real battles you have to fight. Two evaluations. You already know this. One is the panel review, and another is the multiple choice exam. Let's look at the panel review. The panel that will review and assess your professional program management experience summary submitted by you while filling in the application is formed of volunteered PGMPs. Note that the panel is not provided access to your entire application. Rather, just the program management experience summaries are sent to them. And also, the panel doesn't know the candidate's personal details like name or surname or country or nationality, etc. This ensures unbiased review by the panel. Many candidates have failed the panel review. This generally happens because their response in application is not sufficient to prove their program management experience. You may have noticed that at this stage of your involvement is minimal until review outcome is shared by panel to PMI and from PMI to you. Your part was done along with the application submission, since program management experience summaries are part of the application, as we saw a few minutes ago. This panel review is expected to take up to 4 weeks. It may take shorter than this, but be prepared to be patient. It was all easy, wasn't it? The application and the payment and the audit and the panel review. Yep, that was all very easy compared to the evaluation number 2. That is the PgMP multiple choice examination. Why it's so? Well, now is the time you have to study and internalize the standard for program management, and to the extent that you can qualify and pass the examination. Let's understand a very high-level structure of the PgMP exam. Upon successful panel review completion, PMI will send you an email with Eligibility ID that you can use to book the exam. From this day, you have 1 year to pass the PgMP exam, and you are given 3 total attempts to sit on the exam. PMI will guide you how to book the exam, which most likely will point you to www.prometric.com. The process is fairly straightforward, although some Prometric test centers get booked fast compared to others. So if you decide not to book the exam right away, at least keep an eye on Prometric's PgMP test schedule calendar. Under current refund policy, you can cancel the booked exam without paying anything extra, only if you cancel it at least 30 days before the actual exam date. If you have to cancel the exam within these 30 days, but before the last 2 days of the exam, then you will be charged around $70 fee to cancel or reschedule. And in any case, if you want to cancel the exam within the last 2 days to the exam, then you will not be able to get any refund. PMI and Prometric emails will keep reminding you of the refund policy in each of their email communications. So read that carefully. These policies may change from time to time. The exam will be of 4 hours duration, and it will ask you 170 questions. Of these 170 questions, 150 questions are scored, and the remaining 20 questions are not scored. PMI adds these additional 20 unscored questions for a trial and may or may not include them in future tests. Well, 4 hours is a long duration, especially if you have not taken any similar long tests. So it is prudent to complete all practice questions throughout your preparation, keeping this thing in mind that in exam you will be answering each question on an average in 84 seconds. You may ask, what if during the actual exam there are questions with lengthy text? It will take a long time to just read and understand the question, won't it? Well, here is a good news for you. In actual PgMP exams, you won't get lengthy questions, which means you don't have to spend a lot of time reading. Questions will be of reasonable sized text and will fit well within the computer screen along with 4 answer choices. Although questions will have answers so close to each other that many questions will have potential to keep you puzzled for long, which means if your preparation is not up to a level, you will spend a lot of time rereading the questions or reading answer choices. Then you may ask what to do to avoid it, how to prepare. Well, study SPM and ECO material well. Understand each concept very clearly. Understand interlinks and interfaces. Prepare thoroughly. And on top of that, practice all questions throughout your preparation to answer them in exam-like conditions and answer each question well within 84 seconds. And remember, the key to success is that keep practicing till you can answer almost all of the questions correctly and well within time. If you can achieve this, you will go to the exam confident and will come out a winner. A few other things to note. Take enough rest the night before the actual exam. If the exam center is far enough, then try to travel and stay close to the exam center at least a day before. Don't book the exam just because you want to see it over. Book the exam because you are confident enough and are eager to clear the PgMP exam with proficiency in each domain. Try to avoid any change in routine within 24 to 48 hours approaching the exam. Reach the center 30 minutes earlier, which will give you sufficient time to do paperwork and time to refresh and prepare yourself. Most Prometric centers provide lockers to put all your stuff in, and they won't charge you for it. This is just an introductory module, and the purpose of this module is to get you started and help you complete the PgMP application successfully by providing required basic information. If you need professional help on clearing this second evaluation of PgMP exam test, then go to www.pmiplanet.com and look for PgMP products. All you need to clear the exam is there, just a few clicks away. You won't need anything else other than those resources. We have touched 2 facts so far. One is that there are 5 program domains, which are Strategic Program Management, Program Lifecycle, Benefits Management, Stakeholder Engagement and Governance, and another one is that there are 170 questions in the PgMP exam. Let's look at the distribution of questions in the PgMP exam across the domains. Strategic Program Management covers 15% of the questions, which would be approximately 25 questions. Program Lifecycle covers 44% of the questions, which would be around 75 questions. Benefits Management covers 11% of questions, and that is roughly 19 questions. Stakeholder Engagement should be 16% of questions, that's 27 questions. And Governance at 14% of the total questions, which is approximately 24 questions. This basic information can be useful to understand a higher level structure of the exam. On a side note, we have seen candidates with their number of program experience hours across the program domains follow similar distribution. Their application went smoothly through all the evaluations. Maybe you want to compare your program experience hours distribution across domains to these percentages. It doesn't have to be like this in your situation, but at least you know where your efforts go more and where less. You may ask, this all looks so much time-consuming. After all, how much time it might take to get PgMP certified. Let's have a quick look at your journey through the entire process. Assume that you have started PgMP online application on 1st of February 2015. It took 10 days, and you completed the application and submitted it to PMI on the 14th of February 2015. In the next 10 days, PMI will review your application for completeness. Let's say on the 27th of February, PMI came back saying your application was found complete, and now you can submit the payment. You submitted the payment on the 27th of February. Within minutes, you got an email from PMI saying your application is selected in PMI's audit process. You took around 7 to 8 days getting all the required documentation ready as requested by PMI and dispatched the envelope to PMI at their mentioned U.S. address, which they received in the next 7 to 8 days. Let's say they received your audit response on the 20th of March, and within a day they confirmed that your application has been successful in PMI's audit process. During the next 10 days, PMI conducted Evaluation 1 of the panel review, and on the 17th of April they sent you an email saying you have successfully cleared the panel review and are eligible to sit in the PgMP exam. During this time, while PMI was conducting the panel review, you ordered the necessary material and gathered all that you thought necessary for the final exam preparation. You also prepared a plan, an 8-week schedule that you will follow for your preparation. From the 17th of April, you took around 8 weeks of thorough preparation. You had booked the exam on the 11th of June, which you successfully cleared in the first attempt. This example timeline assumed a best-case scenario, which actually will be the case if you are keen to see yourself a PgMP ASAP and prepare thoroughly for each step. It is realistically achievable, give or take a few days here or there from it. One can achieve PgMP certification in almost 4 months. You can remove 3 weeks of audit period if you got lucky and your application was not selected for PMI's audit. Plus, we have not seen any examples so far where the panel review took the entire 4-week period. It generally takes 2 weeks or so. All in all, one can get PgMP certified in 3 to 4 months depending on how smooth and swift things go and how determined he or she is. You may ask, what are the lessons learned so far by professionals who achieve PgMP? Or in other words, what are the benchmarks? And how should you approach the second evaluation, that is the PgMP examination? Almost all of the previous PgMPs read Standard for Program Management, or say SPM and Exam Content Outline, or say ECO, at least 2 times. Many of them had to read SPM around 6 to 7 times and ECO 2 to 3 times. It helps to read one additional study book along with SPM. Many of the PgMPs read at least one study book for their preparation. All previous PgMPs went through hundreds of questions, and many of them repeated and revisited previously answered practice questions. We recommend that at least 500 questions from a quality source should be attempted and continue practicing till you start achieving at least 80% score consistently on all practice sessions. Almost all PgMPs attempted at least 1 or 2 full practice tests with good scores before attempting actual exam. We also recommend that you at least give 2 full practice tests in exam-like condition and achieve higher than 80% score. What we mean is complete an entire 170 questions of test within 4 hours' time with a mindset as if you are attempting the actual final PgMP exam. No interruptions and no distractions. If you got less than 80% answers correct, don't count that test. The important thing during your preparation is to find out your weak areas and study them again before attempting another set of practice questions. Continue this approach all the way through as long as you keep answering questions including last 2 full tests with score higher than 80%. Well, we have covered so far what PgMP is and what is the process to get PgMP certified. We looked at PgMP eligibility criteria and fee structure. We also looked at the PgMP online application in greater detail. We looked at the audit process and panel review evaluation. We looked at the facts on the final exam and also overall certification timeline. We finally looked at the best practices by previous PgMP credential holders. Let's end this introductory study module with a beautiful quote. Everything is easy when you're crazy about it. Nothing is easy when you're lazy about it. Bye for now.